you're an agency owner, one of the things that you may dread the most is hiring your staff. You may be looking for developers or project managers or whatever it may be. If you've gone through any kind of recruiting process, you know that it may take a very long time and a lot of candidates to go through to actually find someone that you want for your team, which is why a lot of agencies end up using third-party companies or recruiters to help them do the job, basically. But today I'm going to share with you a way to help automate this process a little bit for you if you do want to do it in-house with some tools that we use so that you can make it a little bit faster. So of course, the first thing that you're going to need is to have the job post. The ideal thing is to always redirect them to your website. Even if you're putting a job on LinkedIn or a job board, make sure that you bring them to the website page where they can fill out the form. Of course, you want to have an interesting job description, why they should do it, what you're looking for, what you offer, and so on. But I'm not going to go through that in this video. So we use Monday.com to actually take in the applicants, manage the applicants, and also for the form. Everything is synced up. You can do similar things with ClickUp, Airtable. It's up to you. You can also integrate your project management tool with Zapier, but you want to have your database in one central place, right? So we go through and we ask some questions, and if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to share with you these forms and this question. But you want to ask enough questions that you can easily disqualify someone without having to get on the phone with every single candidate, but not too many questions that they're going to be discouraged from actually filling it out. So for example, with a project management application, we'll ask a lot of questions related to scenarios that they may go through, like what would you do if a client is unhappy with the design and demands a refund or demands another revision or whatever it may be. Because based on that, you can see how they respond to certain situations and if it aligns with your way of dealing with things or your values. So for a developer, again, because developers are getting bombarded daily with job offers, you don't want to make it too difficult, but of course you want to ask them the standard things like maybe what city they're based in, what type of job they're looking for, to show some websites that they've done, and types of languages that they know. So once they fill this out, they actually get placed here into our Monday channel. So I'm going to share with you how this looks like. All right, so here I've actually filled out this form for myself, just using myself as an example. One great thing that we've done is we've actually set this up with our Slack. So we can see every time we get a new candidate, it comes in through here just to notify us to be aware. Now, what happens is in my email, I'm going to get a thank you email. This is really important because it's nice that there is like an instant feedback to them and that they know how the process works. In some cases, we even send out a whole explanation of how the process is going to be, the different stages, that they know what to expect. Likewise, if we decide to reject them, we're going to send them an email so that they know, because the worst thing or the most unprofessional thing is that a business doesn't share this. And then people are just left waiting and thinking. So here I am myself, right? We can see here that we have the status, we have the email, all of the questions that we asked are here, so I can easily browse through them. And in the very last columns, I've also added in some columns for the interviewer to put in. So let's say if I want to go in, I start interviewing, and I'm going to put in the different levels that they have. Now, going back to this, let's say I am interested in myself, and I say, okay, let's put them through to the first interview. So what happens there is that they're going to receive an email, again, with an interview for the position. So here there's an interview link, which this makes it so much easier. You don't have to go back and forth with what time should we meet at and so on. Set this up with Schedule Once or with Calendly. I can find the time that I want to meet, and then it's all there, and we can meet at the time that's scheduled in their time zone. Now, let's say, okay, I interviewed them. Here I'm putting in my notes, their expertise, company fit, good fit, and so on. This is great if you have multiple people interviewing them, which you should. And then let's say, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to say, all right, the next step is we're going to test them. So we're going to test them in an automated way as well. So we send through a test, like a link that they can fill out. This is maybe not so applicable for developers if you want to do a live coding test, but it's great for project managers. For example, project managers, we have a form where they go through, again, a list of questions. Once you've already interviewed them, then they're more invested in the position. So you can't send them a test without ever speaking to them. We have tried that and not many people respond. But once you've already explained to them the business, gone through the interview, given them some feedback, then they're keen to do the test. So we'll see things like, for example, one of them that we're doing hiring for, they're usually very eager to come back and do the testing and so on. And then once we've validated them that, okay, their test is good, we would like to move on to the next stage, then we set them up for a second interview. In this case, it usually should be someone else, not the same person in the company. And then again, they get a link and so on. We have some options here. We have some that maybe you say, okay, this person is not the right fit for right now, but we'd like to keep them as a potential person. So then they're going to receive an email which will say, we'd like to thank you for your time that you've committed. We've determined that you're not quite the fit right now, but we'd like to keep your information on file so that they know if, you come back to them again in the future, like why that is. Or we can simply reject them or put them in the higher part. So let's say here, I've decided that they're not the right fit, that we're not going to move on with them. So then they get a nice little rejection letter, as nice as it can be, that they are not continuing on in the future. This is, again, really important because it's not fair to keep someone waiting and they might think your business is unprofessional. So hope this helps. Keep an eye on the link that I'm going to put in the YouTube video below, and you can see our checklist for the forms and the questions that you can ask for hiring a potential Shopify developer.